Well, my name is Alyssa, and I oversee patient care at Options Naturopathic Clinic. And today I'm here with two of our naturopathic doctors, Dr. Aaron and Dr. Patrick. And in this video, we're going to discuss something that may be foreign to most of you, and this is terrain healing. So my first question is very simple. What is the terrain theory of health?
Well, I think in today's environment, we can only talk about terrain theory when we also first talk about what's the dominant view in the world today. And the dominant perspective is what is called germ theory. So germ theory basically says that whenever you get an acute illness or many, many types of disease, it's actually caused by a microbe or a bacteria or a virus, a fungus. And what the terrain theory says is that there's not really any bad biology. It's just there's different forms that are associated with different disease states. And those forms shift and change and present themselves when the terrain or the field is perfect for those things to show up.
Think of the terrain, like as the name implies, as like the landscape or soil of the environment, both kind of internally inside the person as well as externally. An example I like to give is think of a garden of the soil in the garden, right? If in order to have healthy plants, you're going to need, good quality nutrient dense soil. You're going to need sunlight. You're going to need fresh water. And if those things aren't there, you're going to have poor or unhealthy plants. Same thing with us. Internally, that can look like, if you're getting poor nutrition, if you're thinking negative thoughts, if you're not getting the appropriate, water, that's going to affect your cells and tissues and organs. That's going to translate to a lot of dysfunction in the future, and both acutely. So think of it as if proper functioning and proper nutrition to both your terrain internally and externally is going to translate to proper cell functioning and healthy cells.
So really, we are a result of our entire life history, as well as our ancestors' life history. Yeah. We are the result of every response we've ever had to our external environment. And so really, what we're all living every day is the result of that. So this terrain is not even correct to call it theory, because we are what we think, what we ingest, and what we're exposed to.
And the 10 areas that are really big in what we call the terrain can both affect as well are influenced by, things such as blood sugar or genetics or the nutrients that you're putting in your body. And so it's really about, looking at all those areas and addressing those. And in turn, you're going to address the rest of the body and health.
So our colleague and mentor, Dr. Nasha Winters, we talk about in a lot of the other videos, she kind of collated all of what has been covered in this terrain theory versus germ theory. And she calls that collation of naturopathic medicine the terrain 10. So,
yeah, well, let's circle back really quickly to germs and microbes in general. Can you kind of say more about these things, expand on this a little bit?
Yeah. So when we're looking at germs, people think of, bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites, those types of things. Those are, and conventionally, they will look at those to target them, to kill them. All right. You have antibiotics that are going to target those microbes and destroy them. Whereas in the, vitalistic or terrain approach, we look at those as a result of the terrain, not necessarily that they are the ones causing the dysfunction or causing the illness. They are a result of it.
Yeah, there's really nothing out there that's trying to kill you. We have to remember there's no good biology, no bad biology. It's really that your body, your landscape is going to heal when you remove all the things that are blocking the process, the natural inherent process to healing. And that's what we mentioned in the It's All New to Me video, that it's about the vis medicatrix naturae, is that healing power. It's just Latin for the healing power of nature that's inherent in all of us. And we trust that, and we see it happen. Absolutely. We see it work. It's beautiful.
It really is. It really is beautiful. Well, now, how do we use this idea of terrain to help people heal?
Yeah, so we're using it to heal by, again, looking at the underlying factors that are influencing why someone has the dysfunction. So whether that be an acute illness, which would be more like a cold or flu, whether that is more of a chronic illness, we have kind of three main areas that all of our therapies fall into. First one is, stimulate the vital force. One of them is, give the body what it needs. That could be like nutrition. And then the other one would be, taking out the trash, so to speak. So elimination and detoxification. Yeah. If your body's not doing these type 3 things, or the therapies that you're, undergoing are not addressing these things, then you're going to have more dysfunction.
So we focus on the positive and what's necessary to heal. We don't get over involved in the label that's been given to the person. So a lot of times people get a lot of relief out of getting a diagnosis for something, but the diagnosis doesn't actually help you to get better. Yeah. It's just, it's sort of an intellectual construct. It has to do with categorization. It has to do with doctors learning, but it doesn't really have much to do with your individual needs when it comes to healing and correcting that particular diagnosis.
Yeah. Well, and it helps conventional care follow their protocols, right? Mm-hmm. Follow the standard of care. You have this diagnosis. Now we're going to treat you this way. Right. So if any of this sounds really interesting to you, we have a lot more information on our website. So go ahead and check it out. It's optionsnaturopathic.com.